So another thing that we search for frequently are city directories. It's a really good way to go through and find information not only about where your ancestors lived in a certain year, but also maybe what their occupation was or other people living at their residence. And a lot of that information is included in old city directories. So we can come down here to the directories category, and you'll see this big long list here. And you can go through and click on every one of these, and it will take you a fair amount of time. In fact, you can click one. Let's take the first one and then say, well, let's go in and actually look at the actual record. What this is going to do is now take you into the full record from 1933 in Ogden City, and you can go through and click through page by page. You can see there are 328 pages in this directory, and this is on page 227. His name is highlighted, but you don't really want to go through and click through each one of these every year to find where Mr. Von Breck lived. And so what I suggest doing, which is much faster, is going back to the original search page, and if we just hover over it, you'll see it pulls up this window, and it really tells me what I want to know. It tells me the residence year, so I can see in 1933 that he lived at 302 35th Street. So I could mark that quickly in my spreadsheet, 1933, house number 302, street 35th. Then I hover over the next one, 1931, same thing. And then come over here, 1932, same thing. So we see this happening. So what I would do is come over and create a spreadsheet, and I would say house number, street name, and then put ancestor, and 302, 35th Street. Oh, and of course we want year on here, so over here to the left we'll insert a column and put year. Now we start with 1931, 1932, 1933, and we'll left justify these. And then what you can do is just copy that number and then drag it over here. Copy and paste it so you don't have to go type it in every time, or you could copy and you could put his whole name in here. Now suppose we come in and we find one. Let's see if there's a much later year here for this. Say we find, 1925, he was still at 302 35th Street. So now we know from 25 till 33 he was at that same address. So I'll come back over here and I'll add some more columns or some more rows. And we'll go 1925, 1926, 1927. At this point I can just use autofill in Excel and it will populate the other years. So if I drag that down, it's just going to know to add those up to, we've got an extra year in there now. But basically what we'll do then is say 302, 35th Street, and Herman Breck. And then I can copy those cells, highlight, hitting Control-C for copy, now Control-V for paste, and there we go. Now we've got all that filled in. I didn't have to go search for all those records individually. I didn't have to type them in one at a time. I simply hovered over these pages, or these links, and then did a copy and paste to autofill those years. So that's how you build your spreadsheet very quickly. It will save you a lot of time. You could either spend 5, 10, 15 hours doing this, or 1 or 2 hours, depending on how you go about doing it. So save your time for other valuable research.